A postal service is a mechanism for sending mail, letters and packages. More than 40 courier companies in Uganda now have licenses, and this has helped the industry advance social and economic development in the midst of the e-commerce age. All courier and postal services must be registered, and each licensed operator must pay a 2% yearly gross levy. The goal of this fee is to help with postal infrastructure, and the idea is that it will subsidize service provision. However, this is hurting the sector players because they face unfair competition from unlicensed operators.
We've had many discussions about this levy, that we as the operators don't feel that it's working, it's serving towards its intended purposes. And in this discussion, I believe that this is one of the things we need to consider if we can scrap it off, because we're not feeling its impact in the sector.
2% levy is a requirement under the law. All operators in the sector are supposed to pay this 2%. It's a levy that was instituted in most countries in order to help governments serve the unserved and underserved areas of the communication services. So it doesn't apply to just the postal sector. It applies to the telecommunication sector, the broadcasting sector. The purpose of this levy is to help regulators and governments use that money to extend these critical communication services to the areas where the commercial players may not on their own extend such service.
The engagement has aimed at having a collaborative regulation for the stakeholders to understand the key issues in the sector and the operators to be reminded about their obligations.
We've seen a big growth of the players. We've seen a number of licenses coming up from about 17 players to about 40 at the end of last year. And what this does is that it has opened up opportunities for them in terms of businesses, in terms of formal frameworks with organizations, and would like to support them to be able to get this business, because obviously with COVID, there were a few challenges. So today's engagement is one that we have every year with them, just to ensure that we are all on the same playing field. Do the licensing framework as it is today, support them, because obviously the environment is changing every day. So we'd like to have a consultative engagement with them frequently to be able to ensure that the licensing framework, the fees that they charged, the areas that they cover, and obviously other challenges that they have within the sector, we can have this opportunity to address them.
According to the manager postal services at UCC, Agatha Mbabazize, reviewed as the courier sector is contributing to the NDP3 and is increasing telephone penetration in the country, thus creating employment opportunities, which increase household incomes.
We are creating jobs for the citizens, and we are increasing mobile penetration in the sector. So you're very important. The courier and the post is very important in driving this transformation of this country. For an operator to acquire a courier trading license, a domestic license goes for $140 annually, $2,500 for a regional operator, $5,000 for an international operator, and $10,500 for the transfer of the license, but 60% remains unlicensed.
About 40 operations licensed currently, but we think they only cover 40% of the national business. So that means that 60% of the business carried currently, from particularly on the courier side, is not licensed. That's a big percentage. That's money missing for the licensees. That's taxation that is missing from a government perspective. And those are people who are carrying customers' cargo without any insurance and any consideration of if something gets lost, who would they go to? So again, that's a protection from the consumer side. So 60% of the business is being carried by illegal couriers, I would say.
With increasing business both domestically and globally, postal services have been handed a new lifeline despite the surge in electronic communication. This means that courier companies will remain relevant in future because some businesses cannot do without their services. Naomi Mtumba, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.